Welcome here to the Kingspan Stadium for round 6 of the Celtic Challenge. It's the Clovers versus Brython Thunder. That's a solid take. And here's Clovers. She goes herself. She does engage Heilman. And this is really good play from the Clovers, knocking on the door straight away. O'Flynn.
Away, Red. Stay there, stay there.
Gets them closer. Clovers, a show and go. Here's Classy. And she gets over for the first try. And it didn't take long. Jane Classy won an AIL with the UL Bohemian last season, and she gets a try for the Clovers here today, and a brilliant start from the Irish team.
Yeah, I mean, really well worked set piece. Clovers was all over that. You know, she was building in those earlier phases, and then finished off nicely by Jane Classy. She's the kind of player you don't want to play against, Dervla Clovers. She'd do anything with the ball. You know, she's dogged and determined and never gives up. You see earlier when she, goes again each time.
She's very similar to Peter O'Mahony, really. A real Munster leader. Fowley won't be happy with that one.
Leave it, Green.
Terry, lovely tip on to her captain. Terry again, pokes one over the top. Guerrero is going to tidy this one up. She goes, and she's got so much speed, and she's got the gas on, the foot on the accelerator. Chisholm Guerrero, and Aguero's still going, stepping, dancing her way to the 22. Here's Dealey. It's on this side. McGann, and Anna McGann isn't going to be stopped. She had open road in front of her, but it all started from that Chisholm Guerrero run.
Yeah, I mean, she dealt with that bouncing ball really well down there and just made it look so effortless, her run up the pitch. She seemed to have all the time in the world and just a very graceful run.
But Anna McGann, she was probably a little bit surprised that she had no defender there to stop her.
Yeah, it's great to see her getting on the score sheet. We talked earlier about her return from injury, so hopefully she can get a good run of form under her belt now.
And a similar enough attempt for Fowley coming up to her first one.
Yeah, she'll make this one.
The Galwegians legend, loved in Connacht and in Galway.
There we go. And
she does. No commentator's curse for you. Davis. The loose head is next in line. Grinding their way to the try line at the moment. And Singleton decides to go herself. Maybe not the right option as she gets held up.
Can't have it more than goal.
But a lot better from the Thunder.
Yeah, absolutely, and a score here would really keep them in the game at the start of this first half here.
Lane is back now. That's a lovely flat pass. And Jane Classy, she's spinning around. And she's going to get her second try, but it all came from that lovely pass to put her through the gap. And that's brilliant rugby from the Clovers.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run from her. And I mean, credit to Brython, they had some ferocious defending there. Natalia John was making a real menace of herself in those rucks, but it just wasn't enough, and that was an incredible run from Jane Classy there.
They found the soft shoulder, and Jane Classy gets her second.
Thanks.
Impressing so far, the UL Bows woman. And if Fiona Hayes is watching, I'd say she's delighted as well. Has to do her job first. And she finds Neil.
Sack is good.
Clovers. A little bit messy, but they still have the ball. Finn. drives the legs. The tight head finds her way to the line.
Sophie Barrett there.
Sophie Barrett. And that's the bonus point in the bag. And like you said, not even 25 minutes gone on the clock. And the Clovers are guaranteed 1 point at least, and they'll pretty much fancy themselves for the 5 now.
Yeah, and I suppose for Brython, you know, they're under the sticks again, and they're listening to their captain Natalia John, who's such an experienced, you know, Welsh international and has been involved in, you know, several PWR clubs. She was at Bristol and Saracens and Ulster Warriors previously, so she'll have a wealth of experience.
And they get it wide to Dealey. And here's Costigan, steps back inside, has the support of McGann. And McGann has lane if she wants to use her, but McGann is going herself. She releases the ball. And the Clovers are flowing well. And it's on. And Jane Closey, a hat-trick and a special moment for her. Jane Closey, a hat-trick, and the first half hasn't even ended yet.
Yeah, that was a great team try. Fantastic run there by Anna McGann.
Thanks.
Some great fens.
Yeah, go for it.
And you don't often see second rows scoring hat-tricks.
On the setup.
Yeah, but I think the way she runs and how athletic she is, she's a modern second row.
Kind of like Ryan Baird. Very similar, very athletic.
Yeah, her turn of pace and her footwork is just incredible.
Do you want me to closer? Closer, yeah.
And a lot for Dennis Fogarty to be happy about going into the sheds for half-time.
That's fine. Thanks for letting me know. Later.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't complain about that scoreline. She looked so confident there, running that ball in, and you know, she would have been very.
Finn just sets it up.
Advantage.
Rowley floats one to Dealey, and they bring it to the space, and Costigan is going to stroll in for the try. Amy Lee Costigan, she's so used to scoring tries and sevens, but she gets one in the 15th game here today.
Yeah, it's a picture we've seen 100 times before, isn't it? But sorry, Anna McGann would have been so diligent during her rehab journey that it's no surprise she's back at 100%.
And those are the things people don't see. They don't see the effort that goes in when players are coming back from long injuries, the rehabilitation, the hours they have to put in with the physio, their stretches, things like that. Like, she's on the pitch, she's playing well, but people don't see the pre-work that goes into getting to these moments. Oh
no, absolutely, and it's great for her to be back today, you know, scoring tries, but it can be more so than the physical side of injury. It's, you know, very mentally tough. It can be quite lonely and isolating for players, so it's always, you know, worth checking in on your injured teammates. And especially nowadays when you're competing for places and Irish rugby is in such a good place, when you get injured you probably do feel like you're losing your place in the pecking order a little bit. Yeah, and you know, it's an opportunity. On one hand, it's an opportunity for other players, but it's probably definitely bittersweet as well for injured players to see. But they're going to get a chance to run it back. Fowley. Here's O'Flynn, stretching the legs. Gavin. A good carry from her. Floats one over the top. And Ugueru, she's a try machine. She set up one earlier on, but she gets herself on the score sheet now. Chisholm Ugueru scores tries for fun. And try number 7, and the Clovers extend their lead once more. Yeah, that's deserved there for Chisholm Ugueru. She's been a real threat in the first half, and great to see her on the score sheet. 6 tries in the first half, and people would have probably been surprised that we didn't say Chisholm Aguero already got one, but she's got one now. She's off the mark.
Yeah, go for it.
They're just coming around the corner now. ready and waiting.
Off
Patient
5.
play from the Clovers. Barrett again. And she just strolls in. Her second of the day. Sophie Barrett. She was almost a little bit amazed there. It was too easy for her.
Yeah, absolutely. She just looked very surprised when the gap opened up, but took her opportunity and got herself on the score sheet again.
But that was a real patient try. They worked the ball well, worked around the corner.
Just back, yeah.
Yeah, and the Clovers number 6, Brianna Heilman, she's been just putting her hand up to carry ball all afternoon.
And they are missing some key leaders today in the squad.
Yeah, we have their captain today by Emily Costigan, but Anya Breen is being rested this week.
Ruth Campbell.
Yeah.
But that's a real positive for Dennis Fogarty, that he can leave some key players out, but the players that come in, there's not much of change.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it's a real luxury to have such a deep squad.
Corey's there to take it. And Aoife Corey finds McGann. And McGann trying her best to keep going. And McInerney is there in support. And you feel a try is coming for the Clovers. Lane to Gavin. Just using the width, and Anna McGann is caught on a stretch for her second try, and that's just simple, putting it through the hands to your last attacker, and Anna McGann is the last attacker, and she gets her second try.
Yeah, herself and Aoife Corey worked really well there, linked up nicely. Aoife Corey's been great since she came on. She's really made her mark on the game.
Well, that's the thing as well. These replacements, no matter how long they get on the pitch, they want to make a statement. They want to give Dennis Fogarty something to think about other than his sore body from last night.
You see there, Hannah Bluck was making that last tackle. I mean, just shows her experience. She's not going to give up anything easily, and even with the scoreline the way it is, she's ferocious in terms of trying to hold up that try.
And the young band of Let's Go Clovers get singing.
Bang! Set!
Moran with the feed. And the back line get going. McGann to Corey. And it's Amy Lee Costigan. She scores and they get their 10th try. And it's a perfect day at the office for the Clovers.
Yeah, and I suppose as good as that finishes for Clovers, it's disappointing for Brython to be on the other side of that score, and they'll be looking, next week they have Edinburgh at home, so, hopefully home advantage, and they can string together some phases and
And can Fowley put the icing on the cake by getting this last kick?
I'm going to say yes.
I like your attitude, always positive.
Absolutely.
And it's a clean strike. You predicted and it happens.
I'd say I manifested rather than predicted.
Nice.
No, it's nice for her to finish that off on a positive note.
58-0 the score. Great reading if you're a Clovers fan. Not so good if you're a fan of the Thunder.
Thanks.
But the Clovers, 4 wins in a row now. Climbing up the table, putting the pressure on their rivals, the Wolfhounds. And Dennis Fogarty,
Yep, cheers, safe trip.
a win last night playing for the Irish Legends, and a win today coaching the Clovers.